guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about a new mounting system for the AK-47 or 74 series rifles. It's made by Midwest Industries. It's right here on top of the rifle, and it's called the AKSM Mount. The AKSM Mount is a 1913 Picatinny rail system that mounts to your rifle via the left-hand accessory rail. Now, if your rifle doesn't have an accessory rail, it's going to cause a problem. It's not going to work for you, but most rifles being imported or manufactured today do have this accessory rail on the left-hand side of the receiver. Now the AKSM gives you 16 T-slots across the top of the rifle here, and each of the T-slots are marked clearly with white letters and numbers. The AKSM is made out of 6061 anodized aluminum, and the steel components are melanite treated, so it's a very robust and quality piece. It's about 6.75 inches in length, and it weighs about 7.3 ounces. It doesn't add a whole lot of weight to the rifle by itself, and the weight that it does add, especially after you put the optic of choice on top, the weight that it does add, it adds it right over the center of the receiver, which is a good spot to add weight to a rifle if you have to do it. It doesn't change the handling dynamics of the rifle all that much. Now, the AKSM mount does set nice and low, so low in fact that you can't remove the top cover from the rifle to clean it. That's the only ding that I found so far with this system. However, it does feature an ADM mount. The ADM mount is much more robust and easier to adjust than the Russian system, which is a very simple throw lever system on the Russian mounts if you're used to those. Now the Russian system does work very well, it's military tough, but this ADM system I really like. It's very durable and again, very easy to adjust. How you work the ADM system is just a lever here on the bottom. You flip this lever and the mount pops right off the rifle. To put it back on, you just set it on the rail, slide it over, flip the lever, and it's back in place. Now it's supposed to maintain 0 when you do that. When we get it to the range, we'll find out if it does. So if it maintains 0 as advertised, then it won't be a problem that I can't get the top cover off for cleaning because I can quickly pop the optic off so I can get at the internal components anyway. I don't see that as being that big of a deal. Now, this system does allow you a whole host of different mounting options for different optics. Here's an EOTech. So anything that'll fit on a 1913 style rail will work with this system. There's an Aimpoint Comp M2 sitting on there. There we go. Looks pretty good. And here's a 1:4 power magnified optic. And that's what we're going to do the testing with when we get out the range later today. So it works very well. It looks really good on the rifle, and it appears to be a high quality piece. Now the ADM system is very simple to adjust for tension. It doesn't require any special tools. You just simply take the mount off the rifle, push up on the lock mechanism, and turn this nut here on the top. Again, no special tools, nothing. Put it back on the rail, slide it over, flip the lever, and you're back in business. So let's get this mount out to the range, do some shooting with it, and give you some thoughts. All right guys, we're out at the range and I have a Mueller 1:4 power CQB sight, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a future video. It's a nice optic. I have that mounted to the AKSM mount, which is then mounted to my Arsenal SGL 2194. Today we're going to be shooting some Brown Bear 123 grain hollow points. Have a target up at 100 yards. I'm going to go ahead and fire 5 rounds out of the rifle to confirm 0. Then I'm going to come back, remove the mount, remount it, fire another 5 rounds just to make sure that the mount does in fact hold at 0. Okay, we're at the 100-yard line. Here's our first 5-shot group. Measures right at 3 inches, so we're just going to make sure that it doesn't open up much more than that 3 inches, and make sure that it maintains 0 by removing the mount and remounting it to the rifle. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the sight from the rifle. We have it off. Let's go ahead and put it back on. Load up 5 more rounds and see if it holds 0. All right, let's run down range. All right, we're back down at the 100-yard range, and our 5-round group landed right in the middle of the last 5-round group. So the sight mount is maintaining at 0. Now, the cheek weld on that particular mount works pretty well. I have medium rings on the 1-to-4 power optic, and it's just a little bit high. I do have another 1-to-4 power optic that I've mounted with low rings, and it works fine, gives you a little bit better cheek weld. Overall, I'm very impressed with the performance of the sight mount. Okay guys, some final thoughts on the AKSM mount from Midwest Industries. Overall, I'm very impressed with the quality of this mount. It works as advertised. This afternoon I fired probably 200 rounds through the rifle. I had no point of impact shift, and that's after removing and mounting the mount system several times to the rifle. So it maintains that 0 just fine, and it works as advertised. Now, one thing I did notice about this mount, you'll notice that the rails set pretty far back over the receiver of the rifle. Now, this 1-to-4 power Mueller scope that I have on here has about a 3-inch eye relief, as most 1-to-4 power scopes like this have. It works great with this rifle with the short AK buttstock, but you'll notice that I have these medium rings all the way forward on the mount, and I have the scope pushed pretty much all the way forward in the rings to give me that 3-inch eye relief. And again, it's comfortable as you see it here. However, if you have a scope with 4 inches of eye relief or something like that, you might not be able to get the scope far enough forward to get a comfortable cheek weld. That's just something to think about. However, this does work great with red dot sights like the AEM Point, the Comp M2, and other red dot sights that will attach to a 1913 style Picatinny rail. I also mentioned earlier in the video that I was unable to get the top cover off the rifle with the mount in place. Now, I have since read on the internet that some folks are receiving these and they're putting them on rifles like the Wasser 10, and they're able to actually get the top cover off without removing the mount. But on this Arsenal rifle, I can't get the top cover off. It's a really close fit. But I don't see that as a ding, because the ADM auto locking system, which I really do like, makes it very easy to remove this mount and put it back on very quickly, and it maintains 0. If you guys have any questions about this mount, feel free to visit us on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/military arms. I also invite you to swing by our online discussion forum, which is pretty much brand new. You can find us there at www.militaryarmschannel.com. As always, everybody, thanks for watching, and again, thank you for those subscriptions. Talk to you soon.